Listen, if you think your pantry is ready for a real collapse, let me ask you one uncomfortable question. How many of the things you've stored will actually survive you? Because here's the quiet truth preppers don't admit out loud. Most of what people stockpile dies faster than morale on day 3 of a blackout. Flour goes rancid. Rice gets bugs. Oils turn into something that smells like an engine died in them. And that emergency snack stash? Yeah, you ate it last month at 2 a.m., didn't you? But there are foods, almost mythical, so stable, so absurdly long-lasting, that they don't just survive 25 years, they laugh at 25 years. They're the foods nobody stores, mostly because they don't look sexy on a prepper shelf. They look boring, ancient, unchanged by time. And ironically, that's exactly why they might save your life when every store, every supply chain, every fragile convenience you depend on collapses into dust. The first one is something historians talk about, but preppers rarely take seriously. Hardtack. It's basically flour, water, and salt baked into a brick that could probably survive a nuclear blast by accident. Soldiers carried it in the Civil War. Sailors gnawed on it during multi-year voyages. And modern survivalists ignore it because it's not tactical enough. But listen closely. Hardtack lasts this long because there's literally nothing in it for bacteria to party with. No fat, no moisture, no oils, nothing that spoils. It's pure carbohydrates locked in a dehydrated tomb. Add water and heat, and it turns into something edible again. And yes, edible is the correct word, not delicious. Survival isn't a restaurant. Survival is staying alive with teeth intact. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. But here's the real hidden gem. Once the world goes quiet, you're going to crave calories more than comfort. You won't care if something tastes like drywall as long as it fuels your brain and keeps you from making catastrophic decisions. That's the psychology part nobody tells you about. Hunger makes people stupid, desperate, and violent. Hardtack keeps you out of that zone.
Now, the second food almost feels like a cheat code because it's accidentally built for the apocalypse. Raw honey. Not the fake supermarket stuff mixed with corn syrup. Real honey crystallizes, thickens, darkens, but never spoils. Archaeologists literally found edible honey in ancient Egyptian tombs, sealed for thousands of years. You know why it refuses to go bad? Low water content, natural acidity, and antimicrobial enzymes that make bacteria tap out instantly. If you're in a collapse scenario, honey is more than food. It's first aid, energy booster, wound care, throat treatment, even fire-starting material if you mix it right. And here's the funny part. People don't store it because it eventually crystallizes and looks weird. If you're alive in year 8 of the collapse, you're going to wish everything in your pantry looked weird instead of empty. Now, let's talk about the third one, because this is where most people get blindsided. Freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. And I don't mean dehydrated. Freeze-dried is a completely different beast. Water removed at sub-zero temperatures under vacuum, leaving behind nutrients, flavor, and structure, and a shelf life that makes ordinary canned goods feel fragile. Not all freeze-dried foods last 25 years, but high-quality ones sealed with oxygen absorbers do. And the real power here isn't just the longevity, it's the micronutrients. In a long-term collapse, vitamin deficiencies become deadly faster than hunger. Scurvy isn't a pirate joke anymore. Weakness, bleeding gums, wounds that won't heal, those are symptoms that turn you into an easy target for looters or disease. Freeze-dried foods patch that vulnerability in a way no bag of rice ever will. The fourth food is the one people laugh at until they learn the science: white sugar. Not brown, not organic molasses-infused, not coconut sugar, just plain white crystalline sugar. It lasts forever because microbes can't grow in it. It's too dry, too osmotic. Pour sugar on bacteria and it basically mummifies them. In a survival scenario, sugar isn't just about sweetening your misery. It's about energy density. It's about making other survival foods edible. It's about fermentation, preservation, morale, and barter. People underestimate how powerful morale is when the grid is dead and darkness lasts longer than your courage. A spoonful of sugar isn't childish, it's neurochemistry. Maintaining a sense of normalcy keeps your decision-making sharp.
And now for the fifth one, the one nobody stores because it sounds too simple. Dried corn. Not popcorn, not canned corn. Whole dried field corn, the same stuff your ancestors used to survive winter. Properly dried corn sealed with oxygen absorbers can last 30 years or longer. And here's the magic. Corn is convertible. Grind it into cornmeal, turn it into tortillas, cook it into porridge, even ferment it for survival alcohol if things get truly bleak. Corn holds a weirdly important place in collapse survival because it turns fire, water, and time into fuel for your body. It's loaded with calories, adaptable, and nearly indestructible. But most people don't store it because they don't know how to process it, and modern life has rewired us to believe food should come pre-chewed and pre-seasoned. But let me push this further. There are bonus foods almost nobody stores that beat the lifespan of most people's marriages. Salt is a mineral and never expires. Soy sauce lasts absurdly long due to salt and fermentation. And instant coffee, yes, that lifeline of mornings, can sit for decades if kept dry and sealed. These aren't just flavor items. In a collapsed society, they're psychological stabilizers. They make you feel human again when everything around you feels hostile. There's a bigger lesson hidden behind all of this. Survival isn't just stockpiling, it's understanding the physics and biology of spoilage. Moisture is the enemy. Oils are the enemy. Oxygen is the enemy. Light is the enemy. Your pantry becomes a battlefield where chemistry decides if you live comfortably or claw through desperation. That's why the foods that last 25+ years all share the same secret. They're dry, shelf-stable, brutally simple, and time-resistant. And no one stores them because modern life has sold us the lie that fresh equals good. In survival, preserved equals alive. If you're preparing for a blackout, societal collapse, or anything that shatters the fragile infrastructure we depend on, these foods aren't optional. They're baseline. The world won't end with a bang. It'll end with a slow fade of supply chains, empty shelves, and desperate people making desperate decisions. When that happens, the person who stored the right foods, the boring foods, the forgotten foods, becomes the one who doesn't panic.